It's Chris, the Dating Doc, here with another Dating Doc Raw audio video. If you're new to this channel, hey, why don't you hit the click and subscribe? It really helps out. And if you don't like my content, because maybe you're from a group or belief system, then still follow my content, because guess what? Believe it or not, I love to hear from you as well. So this entire video is going to be all about living in fantasy land when it comes to the media that singles consume. For example, and this is what inspired all of this. Going to work today, there's a little TV that's on top of our office, right? And it plays the news all day. I'm not going to name the news channel because then people are going to assume that I'm for or against it or whatever. That's not what I'm focusing on. And every time that I was taking a bathroom break, right, I was either coming in and out of the bathroom or grabbing a coffee, maybe an average, I don't know, 3.5 hours, right? Every 3.5 hours, I was out to do something. And I quickly looked at the TV and I realized that I happened to be catching the same news story. It was like I'm living in the Matrix. I got to thinking about it, and a lot of singles are living in this fantasy land. Okay, shout out to any WandaVision watchers out there. But point being is, if you are all day watching The Bachelor, Bachelorette, you're watching rom-coms, and you think that that's based on reality, right? You think, well, I'm going to meet my Prince Charming, right? Or if you're watching, the inverse of that, you're thinking, I'm going to meet this beautiful lady and it's going to be happily ever after. Come on, what is the reality? The reality is we get home from work, or for entrepreneurs, we're at a coffee shop, sitting on our ass, playing on our phone, doing a little bit of work, or we're at work, distracted by our phones. We come back, watch a little bit of Netflix, or go on YouTube, whatever your favorite platform is, rinse and repeat. We've been so disconnected. That's our reality. And rom-coms are an endangered species, and because, again, they're not based in reality. If you really want it to be real, instead of one of these, you meet someone and have some serendipitous moment, and 3/4 of the film there's heartbreak, and you don't know if they're going to end up together, and then they end up together happily ever after, and everyone's having a wine party watching this film together, and it's such an awesome film. The reality, okay, including the extras, would be a whole bunch of people staring at their phones, a lot of endless, mindless swiping, matching with someone, messaging them, maybe meeting with them, or maybe you ghost them. Eventually you meet someone, you go on a very lukewarm date because you have nothing to lose, and at the same time you feel like you have nothing to gain, and then rinse and repeat. That's reality. Because here's the thing, right? Let's say the plot of a movie is you're at a coffee shop and someone spills their coffee on you and you lock eyes, and no, people are so attuned to going back to their phone that if, let's say, a happenstance moment like that happened, right? Just, oh, this beautiful woman just spilled coffee all over me, and we met and we locked eyes. Nothing happens, okay? You don't have the conversation. Why? Because first off, let's break it down between both genders. For the woman, okay, in the corner of the woman, she is feeling that you are either taken, a creep. She needs to get back to her phone. She's so committed to her dating apps that she forgets if she's seeing someone, if she's totally single, or going on a date with someone, et cetera, et cetera. So you're not even if you're in her league, there's not that consideration like there was 10 or 15 years ago. For the guy, okay? The guy, if he's totally single, he's assuming that the woman is taken, too focused on work, might be a pretentious, you know what? So again, there's all these thoughts going through the reality of a man or woman's brain. But no, the rom-coms want to sell you this magical moment where you hear the score in the background and you lock eyes and there's like wind out of nowhere and her hair's waving everywhere. No, okay. I used to be made fun of for watching wrestling back in the days. I used to watch professional wrestling, right? The good old WCW, WWE days. Shout out to that. And I got poked fun for obvious reasons, right? Hey, this is fake. This is prefabricated. This is scripted. Okay. What do you think's happening with the news? What do you think these quote unquote reality shows are doing? And yet you eat them up and they perverse your mind to where you really do think that you're going to meet Prince Charming, even though you haven't worked on your conflict resolution skills, your inner trauma, your self-esteem, the fact that you have to rely on TikTok or other websites to monetize your image, losing your self-respect in the process, yet justifying it by the fact that weak men are paying for it. Meanwhile, men look at media, look at certain websites they should be on, and they're depleting their masculine energy. They're becoming even more negative. They're looking for places and groups to latch onto, and sometimes toxic. They get radicalized to the point that they don't want to date anymore. Or they're so angry that they do want to date for only one reason. That's right. So the media that you listen, watch, or read has an effect on you. That is the entire point of, it's actually a twofold points to this video. One, rom-coms and the idea of romance in media, that's dying off because it's not based in reality. And it's a disservice to somehow use that in some escapism, primarily for women, right? Don't want to generalize. I'm sure I can look at some statistics, but I'm sure women are the ones that eat up these rom-coms a lot more than men. Conversely, doom and gloom media, okay, and I mean media in any regard, TV, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, et cetera, you'll have the other side of it, where third and fourth wave feminist, Raging Red Pill, MGTOW, other groups will say, I don't want to date anymore. So there needs to be a little bit of a balance here, because here's the deal. There are good people out there. Okay, I don't care if it's the nerdy, gothic woman that's super quiet, hangs out at a comic store, and you have no idea that she is a badass, or, you know, her counterpart, which is a guy that's hanging out at the bookstore, goes in, gets the books he wants, comics he wants, and leaves. And they have no idea that they're actually meant for each other. They both equally hate the world, and they're meant for each other. But it needs to be based in reality. That's what I'm saying about media portrayal of dating, love, and relationships. Let's get away from this escapism that it's going to be a happily ever after, and let's go into more of a reality that's built on resilience, hope, and just enjoying the person. Okay, what I mean by that is no longer judging what movement they're part of or what political party they lean. No, just get to know the damn person. You may realize that both of you are equally negative, which makes you both positive, right? Just like magnetism. So, do you agree? Do you agree that rom-coms, sitcoms based on these happily ever after Prince Charming situations, do you think they're dead? Do you think they need to be dead? Do you think that they serve some sort of purpose? Or do they distort reality? And also, how have you been affected at all, whether it's positive or negative, by popular media? Have you gained sound advice? Have you gained 70% sound advice and 30% toxic advice, and you were able to know the difference? Or do you throw away anything that you disagree with, even if you know deep down it might be the right thing, and you just want to hear what you want to hear? So yeah, entire video is all about media portrayal and what you may think about it in regards to dating relationships. Again, click and subscribe, support. And if you disagree with me, that is support as well. I would like to know what you're thinking.